So I got the MetaQuest 3 on the 10th, and like I did with the Quest 2, I'm just going to show you real quick what comes in the box so you know what you're getting. Have the strap here, elastic, and it tightens by sliding these outwards and then loosens by sliding them inwards. Kind of awkward when it's on your head, at least if you have hair, but it does work. It's not horrible. The Quest 2, I just had a lot of pain in the face when I used that, and this one, after a few days, it's the 14th today, so I've had this for three-ish days of time, and I can make it work. So I do have the Elite Pro strap on order, and primarily I caved in on that one because I want the battery, not necessarily the strap. But I do think the strap's going to just be a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. With this strap, they did change the size of the connection here, and they put the dang plug in the thing, so you have to get a new strap. Even if you have the one for Quest 2, it won't fit. Power button is on the side. This is a rolly dial for your interpupillary distance. That's for the charger if you get the charging station. Volume, a couple cameras there, headphone jack, and fancy cameras for augmented reality. And then, of course, on this side you have your beautiful pancake lenses. And not sure that we can see in here, but if you can, there's a little button here, and there's a matching one on the other side. And when you push those, you can then lift this up a little bit in case you have glasses. I can wear this with my glasses, and my glasses fit just fine. But I still find it, I don't know, to be uncomfortable. Thankfully, the clarity of this is so good, and my eyes are only a little bit sketchy. I have a little astigmatism, and then a little bit of, I don't know, nearsighted, farsighted, something like that. Anyways, it's not bad. I can function without my glasses. I'm not even wearing them right now. And so for me, I just forget the glasses, forget the prescription lenses entirely, and just go with this au naturel. And it is crisp and clear. I'm not going to get into all the crazy stats because everybody and their brother's doing that. And it's easy to just Google the specifications. Now with the controllers, on the Quest 2, I got Kiwi straps that allow you to do that. And I like that because I don't have to hold the thing the whole time. But initially, this just comes with this battery cover and the wrist strap. So this is the official Oculus hand strap. And I really like them. I think they're very nice. I think they'll work well. Controls are essentially the same as before, just minus the giant ring. And that's about all you get with it. Obviously, like I said, you don't get those with it, though. That's extra. I did get the case as well. And and this is one of the reasons I like doing this, because I kind of would have not bought this. Reason being that the Quest 2, or the Quest 3 fits wonderfully in the case for the Quest 2. They're not that much different, and it fits in there just fine, which I will happily demo here for you. So this is the 3, this is the 2. This does have these cute little things, so your controller's sitting there, even with the straps on, sits in there very nicely. And this little guy sits on an end. Peachy keen. But just as easily sits there, and your controllers can sit in there. No problem. I don't know, maybe they might move a little bit more, but you know, worst case scenario, if you find that's a problem, you always just put a washcloth there or some sort of padding. In any case, yeah, it's kind of strange where they sit upright in there. You do have a little compartment here as well, which I kind of like that better than this, because this is an open compartment on this one. But, you know, works either way. This little sucker keeps coming on me. Go back sleep. Other than that, the cases are... It's a little odd. Like, I expected the case for the new one to be smaller, and it is a little shorter, but it's also fatter. It's just kind of weird. I don't know why they made it so fat. Let's do a little comparison here with the headsets. You can see the overall, you're not saving that much space, but I mean, this white part is significantly shorter. But that doesn't account to much in the way of space saving with those. What else? Oh, I know. Let's look at these suckers. Because this is, you know, kind of cool. Just see basically the same thing without that. This has my Kiwi strap on it. I did like this because it has the pop open squishy battery case here. So that was pretty nice. But over time, this has also kind of done this pull-up flippy thing, and there's a little bit of damage here. I think I got this in 2020, 2021. I basically got it right as Puzzling Places launched. So whenever that was, they launched that on my birthday, and I think I just had the Quest 2 for like a couple of days or something, because I literally bought it for myself for my birthday. So overall, very nice. The setup with this was very easy. I just went on, logged in, comes up with your account, your games. So if you're familiar with Quest 2, you just go on there, log in the same way you would on the Quest 2, and it will give you the option then to download any of the games that you already have. And more of a hassle was waiting for it to sync. I don't know how to make it sync. So I left it on, I left it plugged in, and I restarted it for good measure. And the next morning, hadn't synced anything. Kind of irritated me. So day one for me with Quest 3 on the 11th, I still had to use my Quest 2. Then the next night, I kind of did all that again. I set this to 15 minutes before it goes to sleep, and it was already set to update. There's a setting to update even if it's off. And I'm not sure if that applies to sync or not, but you know, I just did everything I could to make sure it would sync. So on the 12th, when I got up, it had synced. I had 90% of my data. There was a App Lab game, Jigsaw Puzzle 3D, I think it's called. And it hadn't transferred over all my photos and all the data that says how far I made it in those puzzles of photos. So I think it transferred like 30 something of 117. So I don't know why that was, but so far the games, the official full-fledged games, all transferred over seemingly just fine. Okay, so with the Quest 3, I had some issues. I had the issue of just taking an entire day to think about syncing. Not the end of the world. I knew it would get there eventually. A little obnoxious. I had the trouble that it didn't sync all the data from the one App Lab game. In any case, it only transferred over like a third of the data. I don't know why. So I did have to plug a little sucker in. I put the 2, plugged it in the computer, found all the files that I needed, put them on the computer, and then put the 3, plugged it in the computer, transfer all the files back over. I loaded Zero Caliber Reloaded. Played that second night, I guess. Once the data had synced, I played it that evening, and then went into a multiplayer PvP, 4-on-4-ish. I don't remember the exact number of people. In any case, I was getting a lot of digital snow. Little white speckles just all over. And when you'd move your head, there was some slowdown, so it wasn't keeping up with you. Not sure why that was. It was kind of nauseating, kind of challenging to play. Eventually, I just had to stop that because I was feeling very ill. And then the next day, I played Walking Dead Retribution, the second one. And I had bought that game like 6 months ago, and I have saved it for this moment. And so got that to go come on, and then it quickly crashed, actually. Within 5 to 10 minutes of play, just crashed. No idea. Whole game shut down. That ticked me off a little bit. However, when I started that, they give you the option to import your previous save, and I didn't know that was going to be a thing, so I was going to restart it anyways. So, wasn't the end of the world, still a little annoying. So I go to play again, and it's doing the same thing Zero Caliber was doing. It has digital snow everywhere, massive slowdown, and horribly, horribly nauseating. At some point, I just got really fed up with it, and I put it down, and because here I've spent, this is the 512 gigabyte model, so I've spent the extra money. I got all the extra space on this. I work for a nonprofit. I don't make a lot of money, so this is a very expensive thing for me. So I bought that. I bought the straps. I got the headset on order. I bought the case. It's gonna end up being nearly $1,000, if not $1,000 investment in this. I expect it to work flawlessly. That is a lot of money for me. So aggravated at this point, I sit down for a little bit, had a bite to eat, wrote a scathing review on Amazon. I didn't actually buy it through Amazon, but I went to Meta Store on Amazon, figured that was the most public place I could leave a scathing review. Because I cannot possibly be the only one having those issues. In any case, eventually I started feeling less queasy, and, despite it not working well, I still wanted to keep playing because I've been waiting so long to play this game, and I really enjoyed the first one. So I go put it back on. I had just paused it, pop up the menu and just paused it, and that was it. So put it back on, and it worked fine. Totally fine. I have no idea what was going on, that for probably about an hour and a half, it was just slow and choppy and snowy and making me horribly ill. I literally did nothing but pause it and set it on a counter, came back to it in like 30, 40 minutes, and it worked just fine. So I just want to say that. So, if you have that trouble, maybe just stop playing for a little bit. I have no idea why it was doing that. I haven't had a chance to go back to zero caliber, so I'm interested to see if that's any better. I don't know. Hopefully I don't have any other problems. There's only a few games I've played so far because I did Puzzling Places. I booted up the Jigsaw puzzle for a minute to see that my information was transferred. And the other two, Zero Caliber and Walking Dead. So Puzzling Places, initially I feel like there was the vaguest amount of slowdown when I pull myself along. But it wasn't bad. And it made me a little queasy that first day, but then I stopped noticing it. So I feel like maybe that was the same thing. Like it has to sit and think about the game for a while. I don't know. So weird. What else? Audio. Phenomenal. Same kind of coming out of those little bands, audio, but it does sound better. Even something as simple as Puzzling Places, some of the sound effects they have in there, just the ambient noise and stuff, I cannot tell if it's coming from outside my house or it's in the game. Cannot tell. That's pretty damn good. Obviously, with more far-fetched things like zombies, you're aware that that's not outside your house, but it does. It also sounds really good. You know, they made such a big deal about this augmented reality and hand tracking, and I don't give a rat's about it. It's just I'm in this for VR, so you boot it up and it's auto set to be in pass-through mode, and I see my living room every day. I don't want to see my living room anymore. I'm good with that. I want to be in like a super cool virtual reality world when I put that thing on. So I just don't understand why they think people want to see their living rooms that much. You know, I can see the functionality if you have kids, dogs, whatever. I don't. I live alone. Nobody's here, nothing to stumble over, no toys about, no animals running through. So it completely, I wouldn't say completely, but almost completely useless feature. Like I could really do away with all the AR stuff and be happier to save the money. Being that it's there whether I want it or not, though. The color pass-through is nice. It isn't perfect. It's still a little grainy. The whole setup works much better in the dark. And I, say dark. I have I have a palm tree over here with rope lighting on it, and fake palm tree, obviously, in my living room. And it's pretty dim. I like it dim in the evening. It's relaxing. So I could not use the Quest 2 at that. It would have not picked up the tracking. So when I put on the Quest 3, it tells me it's too dark, but then it actually does track the controllers regardless. So that's cool. I don't think I could get away with it. It won't let you do hand tracking, but it was able to track the controllers in very, very, very dim light. So that was nice. I'm not sure if that's a depth sensor or just the 4K cameras, or I think they're 4K. I don't know, whatever those cameras are, the color pass-through cameras. Battery life sucks. I would say far worse than Quest 2. However, it has been a long time since I just ran on the Quest 2 battery, because I have the Elite strap and it's got that extra battery in it. So I guess it's a little hard for me to tell, because supposedly they're pretty synonymous with their battery lives. But from what I saw in the specifications, the augmented reality uses up more power. I think it's doing that depth sensing all the time, and the color pass through all the time, and it just uses more power running all that. So if you want to preserve your battery, you should stay in VR. And pretty much 99% of what I'm going to do is VR anyways, so I'm fine. But I do feel like it just burns through that battery so quick. Okay. Clarity is good. It is much more crisp and clear and just beautiful than Quest 2, even with the lenses, the prescription lenses stuck in there for Quest 2, it was always a little fuzzy. And with Quest 3, it's all crisp and clear and it looks wonderful. Out of the games I've played so far, Puzzling Places, Zero Caliber, and Walking Dead Part 2, it looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I love that. Okay, your games will all transfer over. You can play anything and everything from Quest 2 on Quest 3, so that's easy. You just log in and you're good to go. There's a little visor icon on bottom left on the menu when you hit the menu button, and so down there you can hit that and it'll pop to pass through or pop into VR. So I wanted to mention the padding here is cloth, something kind of cloth, maybe like a stretchy spandexy thing. It's a little more textured than I'd like, but overall it's not leaving a red irritation on my face. When I play this, I do have to keep this a little loose, because if this is really pressed into my face, I will get a headache, like really quick. So I prefer the Elite straps where you have the little dial. But the original on the Quest 2 was this foam material, and that left a very distinct red mark around my face. Went away quick enough, but you know, it was annoying. Then they gave out for free these silicone covers for the Quest 2, which was great. So in a weird coincidence, if you really want to save yourself bucks for the moment and you have a Quest 2, you can actually put this thing on your Quest 3. And it's not perfect, but it's close enough and it works. Now, I decided that I didn't actually really need that, but I wanted to try and see. And, you know, like I said, it's a little bit of finagling, but there you go. The silicone sits in there, it's fine. You can see it kind of bunches up down there and stuff, but that is not, it doesn't get in the way of you being able to see. So that's really good. And it does offer a little more nose coverage here. Keeps a little more of the light out, and especially because I had this pretty loose so as to not give myself headaches. However, in the end, I just decided I don't really need it. You know, that this material that comes in Quest 3 is in fact comfortable enough for me to go without it. And the reason I was messing around with that is because to get one of these for Quest 3 through Meta is like 40, 50 bucks. It's insane for a little strip of silicone that quite honestly should have just been here already. I just don't understand the concept of why they want to put a cloth thing in here so bad. I don't see that that's going to save them that much money. Just seems a little silly. I really wish they would just let you customize your headset. And you could say, no, I don't want the cloth, I want the silicone. I don't want the strap, I want the Elite one. And maybe they say, okay, this costs us 10 bucks, so we'll take the 10 bucks off and apply that towards the Elite strap. Or this costs us whatever, 50 cents, so we'll apply that to the next one. I can't imagine that any of these materials are that expensive. I mean, it's elastic and cloth and maybe squishy foam with some sort of spandexy stuff strapped around it. You know, it's not laced with gold or anything. So in any case, though, I don't like wasting material, and that irritates me. So when you know they go through all this mess, they have to build these things and then attach these things and ship them with these things, and now I'm going to pull it off and never ever use it again as soon as my Elite strap gets here. Just silly, really silly. Same with the battery covers. I got the extra straps. They have their own little battery covers with them, so now I got 2 sets of battery covers. And you can't use the wrist straps with those hand straps, which I also think is weird. because with the Kiwis for Quest 2, I had both of them. Not that I ever needed it, so I guess it's irrelevant, but there were times that I would pop the hand strap off and I still didn't have to worry about losing it because it's on my wrist. Anyways, now I have 2 hand straps and 2 battery covers, and soon to be a strap that will just sit on a shelf or in a box or wherever till the end of days, you know? And it's just a waste of material, waste of money on their part, my part, and it's just a waste of time for everybody. So it'd be much better if they just allowed you to customize these things from the get-go. Let's see. I think finally that's about it. So, super cool. Put that on and instantly have hands, and I can click the thingy, and if if my giant menu was not covering my camera, I could totally see that right now. I don't know if I get close enough. Ooh, I gotta get super close, and I still can't see it, but I know it's here somewhere. Okay, well, bye-bye.